his response was from JFK Jr., tell them that no matter how hard they work, people will always tell them it was given to them. But never let that deter them from getting it done. I loved the story whenever they took a summer and he basically decided to make them build. Like,
See, why
what was it, a 56?
You know what's fascinating about this?
Yeah.
This bridge?
Yeah.
I'm just like, so...
A 56-foot compression bridge that his 3 daughters built by
Ron
hand.
Swanson had the hardest time with the idea of leaving his children or somebody else, like leaving them a bunch of money. Right. He had accumulated.
Right.
What was this quote? It was something about like, I don't know how much money I have, but I know how much it weighs.
I know the weight.
I know the weight. But he didn't want to leave money because he didn't want them to be like these trust fund babies, sort of, that they just don't work hard for what they have. Why didn't Ron come up with building a bridge?
Build him a bridge.
Yeah, that was Garth Brooks. Garth Brooks coming up with a 56-foot bridge that they were going to build that took them several months.
Oh yeah. And the kids got the message, right? Because like they're having at the dinner that they're having like on the bridge, right, to celebrate the successful summer or whatever. Like they have a little picnic. They're just kind of like sitting there, and I don't know, they brought something up, and he was like, I don't know, you think you guys can handle that? And they were like, Dad, we just built a bridge.
Oh yeah.
We did that. We can do anything. Let's take it on. Yeah. But I thought it was really interesting. He was apparently there was a time when he was talking to John F. Kennedy Jr. and obviously a guy who's lived in his dad's shadow. And he was asking him, like, for the benefit of his own kids, he was like, what would you tell my kids, like the children of someone who's been successful? Like, what advice would you give to them?
Yeah.
And his response was from JFK Jr., tell them that no matter how hard they work, people will always tell them it was given to them. But never let that deter them from getting it done. He was like, just deal with it now, because that's going to be a big thing they have to deal with, but like, don't let that stop them from going and doing something.
Right.
And it's really interesting. I was actually watching a Gary Vee clip where he's talking to it's like a room of like 20 or 30 people. And it almost looks like a kind of, he's like trying to like inspire this, it seems like a lower income or like poorer kind of like community action type, like let's, start working hard and put ourselves together kind of thing.
Right.
And Gary Vee gets into talking about basically a really similar thing. He's like, I know y'all don't want to hear this, but your like situation, like your poverty, your disadvantage that you're looking at right now, that's your greatest gift, because that's what puts the chip on your shoulder and makes you decide to go actually work hard and go create. And nobody will tell you this, but like people who are privileged, like I just talked to a guy who, his parents gave him $10 million, and he's like, I spent 4 hours with him, and he's like in anguish because no matter what he does, like everyone will always just say it was given to you. And that same thing. And people think like being privileged in those ways, fixes all your problems. But it's like you either get soft and lazy a lot of times, or
blame the,
it's like, sure, you're successful because of your circumstances.
Right.
And it's like with these people, it's like, no, everyone has to make their own individual choice about whether or not they are going to overcome their particular circumstances.
Correct. Yeah.
And or whether or not they're going to work and perform and execute at a high level. And you either end up soft and lazy and, trust fund baby, whatever, like everything you think of negatively with that.
Sure.
Or you figure it out.